All right, everybody, we're back. Another exciting week of high school football. Mike, let's jump right in with a very exciting Valley matchup. Haverhill, 2-1, winners of 2 straight. They're going to Methuen. Methuen's 1-2. They've lost 2 straight, and really, a win would be huge for them.
Yeah, they could really use one, but Haverhill's playing some darn good ball. Could even, when all is said and done, be ranked as one of the elite teams in the state if they're not right now. Josh Gendron coming off a big win last week with the 2 sacks against Dagenhart, the blue chip QB they shut down for Westford last week. So looks like the Hillies will be tough to stop again.
Yeah, I mean Haverhill could easily be 3-0. You know, a couple plays go their way. They beat St. John's Prep. They're really cruising right now. They're getting contributions from all over in their backfield. I agree, Haverhill on that one. We go a little further over in the MVC. Andover finally broke through with a victory. They're 1-2. They're traveling to Lowell, which is off to a pretty good start. Andover seemed to be clicking a little bit more last week. Their defense played pretty decent, and obviously E.J. Perry with the dynamic duo now of Gemmell and Joe Rockwell, who I just featured. Pretty exciting team.
Yeah, for Andover, they're putting up the historic offensive numbers, and Perry could even make a run at the Troy Flutie season and career TD records of 47 and 112 that many thought would live forever, even though they were only set a few years ago. But obviously, you want to win. It's great to put up these great numbers, but Andover is only off to a 1-2 start, beating upstart Lawrence. So they got to definitely put together some wins. So this is a crucial one for them. If you fall to 1-3, you're looking at a long season potentially.
I need to see better defense. They just, they played decent defense last week, but Lawrence is struggling. I need to see them be able to play defense before I'm ready to pick them.
So you're going with Lowell? I'll go with Andover.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Lowell. North Andover traveling to aforementioned Lawrence. They're coming off. They're 1-2. They lost last week, but they're coming off probably their best performance of the season, nearly knocking off a Tewksbury squad that's on, certainly headed towards maybe a small school title. North Andover is, I would say, the definite favorite in this one.
Yeah, the Lancers are struggling a bit. North Andover looks to be on the upswing. It was a lot of fun speaking with Darren Watson this week, our Eagle Tribune Offensive Player of the Year, coming off a multi-pronged big week last week. So Watson and co. Probably take it.
Exciting game in New Hampshire. Salem 4-0. They're traveling to Merrimack, which is 3-1. Their 1 loss is to Bedford, which is unbeaten. This is definitely the toughest test Salem has faced so far this year. But I'm still feeling good about them.
I like them too, but I don't know. Merrimack, as you said, their only loss to Bedford, averaging 55.3 points in the last 3 games. Merrimack is, and all of them were like at least 48 points. So it wasn't one crazy high one. 166 points in 3 games. That's almost unheard of. Justin Grassini last week, 463 yards and 6 TD passes. I say it's just in time, and Grassini leads the Tomahawks to the win over Salem.
I like Rob Pike's defense. I'm going to go with them. I'm going to say they shut them down. Speaking of Bedford, I'm going to skip around a little bit on you here, Mike. Bedford is hosting Pinkerton. Pinkerton's 2-2. They barely escaped Londonderry last week in the rain. Bedford's 4-0. They're just trouncing people right now. I think Pinkerton's going to go back under 500.
Yeah, me too. Bedford's on a roll, and it looks like unless Nico Buccieri just totally runs wild, you'd have to think Bedford rates the nod in that one.
Greater Lawrence, they're 2-1. They're coming off a dominant victory over Greater Lowell. They're going to Northeast, which is 2-1. Greater Lawrence has had some injuries. They escaped disaster because Ojani Belliard's leg injury apparently isn't serious, but he's a game-time decision, and he's at least not going to be at 100%. Plus, Kyle Vasconcelos is still coming back from injury. I'm going to have to lean towards Northeast. If Greater Lawrence was healthy, I'd probably go with them, but I'm going to go with Northeast.
Yeah, they're the tough ones to pick. They're 2 evenly matched teams. I crunched the numbers just a little bit, and I'll go with the Reggies winning a tight one.
North Reading is hosting is traveling to Masco. North Reading has been on a roll. Masco, obviously, this isn't 5 years ago for Masco anymore. I'm going to say Hornets keep rolling.
Yeah, I'll say second straight win over Masco by the Hornets. I don't know how many times they've done that in the last 10, 15, 20, 25 years, but we'll say 2 straight over Masco.
Sanborn's traveling to Pelham. Both are 1-3. We went to Pelham practice this week, talked to our defensive player of the week, who's really good, but I sense that Sanborn might be a little more explosive offensively.
I'm going with that guy, Chris Barcelo. He was an impressive young man in the interviews. Check it out on the website, eagletribune.com. A lot of good stuff by Mr. Willis here. I'm saying sack machine. Chris Barcelo leads Pelham to the win.
Concord traveling to Londonderry, which is still looking for their first win. Concord has played a few tough guns, gave Pinkerton a run for its money. I was encouraged by what I saw out of Londonderry last week, but I'm going to go with Concord.
Yeah, Concord's just 1-3 themselves, but it looks like maybe they faced a stiffer schedule and played them a little bit tougher in addition to getting the win, so Tide rolls in that one.
They did look intriguing, though, last. Londonderry looked tough against Pinkerton. Timberlane is hosting Manchester Central. Timberlane, a team in need of a win. They've lost 3 straight. And Central's looking tough. They're 2-2. One of the losses is to Salem, and it was a tough one. You know, I think it might be another loss for Timberlane.
I'm going to say Timberlane wins it. The Little Greens struggled against winless Memorial, so that has me thinking that this isn't a vintage Central squad, so we'll go with the Owls in that one.
Yeah, I think a win or two, Timberlane could go on a run here. I do like them, even though they've been playing tough. And closing out the Friday slate, Shawsheen is going to Whittier under the removable lights. Shawsheen's 4-0, Whittier's 0-3. Shawsheen's going to win.
Yeah, I think they've only given up 12 points this year. Whatever it is, it's microscopic and might be the stingiest defense in the state, if not a small handful of teams perhaps have better. So with that defense, Shawsheen should take it.
On Saturday, we have a rematch of the last 2 Division II state championship games. Both were thrillers. St. Thomas at 3-1 is going to Windham 4-0. Windham's trounced everybody so far. They're hurting. I talked to Vic Pizzotti yesterday. They're still steaming over that state championship game last year where they almost pulled off the upset. I see Windham just going in and really winning a big one.
Geez, we're different on everyone. Maybe I'm just being a negative Nelly with the local teams, but St. Thomas 31-12 win over a pretty good Sauhegan team. Tim Bouchard 2 TD catches. I'm going with the Saints in that one.
Yeah, I think Victor Pizzotti hasn't yet had to be unleashed. I don't think we haven't had to see as much as we could out of him, both offensively and defensively. I think he might go running wild. He is still steaming over that loss. They've got so many other weapons. I like Windham in this one.
Victor is a bad man. I will agree with you on that one. I wouldn't tackle him.
No. Newburyport going to Pentucket. Pentucket's off to a 1-2 start. They've struggled offensively. Newburyport's 2-1. This obviously is a big rivalry in the Cape Ann League. This is a tough one to choose, Mike.
I just saw somewhere the Port was coming off its first win over Masco since 2001. Granted, a little asterisk. Masco maybe doesn't have a great squad this year, where traditionally they have. And Pentucket, yeah, really hasn't quite clicked. The offense just hasn't kicked it into high gear. So I'll go with the Port in that one.
I'm gonna go with Pentucket. This is always a big rivalry. They're coming to Pentucket. I like state teams. Georgetown, maybe the most unlikely story in the high school football in the state. They're going to Pembroke. Pembroke's not very good. Georgetown's going to roll them.
Yeah, agree with you on that one.
And then finally the Preps. Brooks going to Milton.
Milton Academy's got a real dynamic running back in Mike Silva, 4 TDs last week. I think they got a pretty good tradition. I know they have Silva. So I'll have to go with Milton based on having Silva.
Pat Fry goes out there and catches 3 touchdowns. And Phillips is playing host to Salisbury. What do you got on that?
Salisbury was 8-1 last year, and they opened, I believe it was their opener, 42-28 over Taft. So it looks like that Salisbury tradition is tough to beat. Go with the Salisbury Stakes.
All right, big games both Friday and Saturday. Let's see what happens.